welcome to Living with Lo. My name is Lauren and today we're going to be talking about my 32-week pregnancy update. If you're new, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and go ahead and click the bell notification so you're notified whenever I do put out new content. But getting right into today's video, y'all, with me being 32 weeks, 6 days, that's equivalent to 8 months pregnant, which means I'm already 83% of the way through the pregnancy. That's crazy, time's going fast. And if you haven't already, let me just say, definitely call your health insurance and notify them that you're gonna be having a new arrival very, very soon, because you just never know. Babe may decide to come a little bit early, so you definitely want to be prepared just in case you know, you do have a new arrival that you're not trying to do like paperwork on the back end, because those bills are crazy, y'all. Hospital bills are no joke. Definitely am super excited. Another thing that I definitely want to do, like a pre-pregnancy to do, is prepare the car seat, get it installed. But before I do that, I think we're gonna go ahead and get the car deep cleaned. Who else out there has already gotten their car seat and has installed it? Like, I'm super excited about that. Being 32 weeks pregnant, I have 7 weeks left. Tomorrow I will be 33 weeks, so technically I'll only have 6 weeks left until baby is here. And y'all, I am like, I'm literally over here like, okay, kicking it in full gear. I had Jay just set up the high chair. I'm super excited about that. It came out super cute. I mean, obviously we won't be using the high chair anytime soon. That's just one less thing we have to do when baby is here. Y'all, I've been getting crazy movement lately. Anyone else at this point in your pregnancy have been noticing tons of movement? Definitely share if you guys have a more like gentle kicker, or like you have one that's super busy like my babe. He is literally non-stop all day, especially after meals and like when I'm drinking water. Intensity is also starting to become more and more in the symptoms department, y'all. The first symptom that I want to mention is heartburn. Heartburn is definitely real at this point. Tongues are kind of my best friend, even though I'm not trying to go overboard with them. So I definitely have been kind of like sitting up in the bed at night as opposed to like laying down. Like sleeping, sitting up is definitely my go-to at this point. That I'm not complaining about, because I actually kind of get a good amount of rest that way. So I kind of prop a pillow to my side and I put a pillow behind my head and I kind of just sleep upward. It sounds weird, but I'm telling y'all. And even though I am super exhausted throughout the day, like at times I get super tired, sleepy just randomly. I think it's more nerves than like excitement than anything, but I'm definitely starting to lose or sleep less basically. And because of that, I definitely try and like get a cat nap in, especially if I try to get like Lola down for a nap while Jay's at work throughout the week. I'll definitely try and like close my eyes for a few minutes. But I find myself definitely getting super tired and exhausted a lot more than I was earlier in the pregnancy. The second trimester was a breeze. Even though the first trimester I was like feeling sick, I definitely wasn't as tired. So obviously we're growing a human. So maybe like a day or two ago, I was laying in the bed. Jay and I were catching up on one of our shows, and all of a sudden, y'all, I was feeling this super intense pressure like right above my uterus, like above my vagina. I'm telling you, I literally thought, okay, am I going into early labor? Like, oh my gosh, it was so, I don't want to say painful is the word, but it was definitely intense. And I definitely combated that by kind of getting up and kind of like rocking back and forth. I was swaying my hips like in a circular motion, and it definitely seemed to help, and it dissipated after a while, but it definitely took a minute. It lasted for maybe like 30 minutes or so, maybe a little less, but I definitely kind of rounded my hips, and like I said, I was swaying back and forth, and I was you know, doing like a hula hoop like motion, and it definitely seemed to help. But whoo, y'all, I'm telling you, it was definitely intense, and I was kind of biting at the bit because I was just like, what's going on? Because don't get me wrong, you're definitely gonna feel an increase of pressure down below, especially as baby is gearing you know, down and he's turning. But he puts a lot of pressure on my uterus, and I notice he kind of like, I don't want to say stretches out, but he definitely he pushes very hard. He's very strong. Another symptom that I am experiencing at this point in my is darker areolas, enlarged areolas, tatas, nips, whatever you want to call them. They're starting to change. They haven't yet started to leak. I don't think they really just leaked with Lola, but they definitely are changing in appearance. So another thing that's happening with the tatas are that they sometimes I get like this random ache or soreness, and what I do to kind of combat that is just like gently massage, but I definitely am starting to get that achy feeling and that soreness up top. So one of the things that I've talked about time and time again through this entire pregnancy was vaginal discharge. It's been happening since literally like day one of me finding out that I was pregnant. I don't want to say like early on, but like super early into finding out I was pregnant, I experienced an increase of vaginal discharge. But this, I'm at like an all-time high with like the amount of discharge that's coming out right now that's expelling, and that's just preventing your body from infection, and it's also its way of preparing your body for labor and delivery. But a few things that you want to look out for whenever you are like kind of changing those liners and stuff like that, might be TMI, but I'm gonna share it anyway. It's like a less discharge like substance, more liquidy watery substance. That could mean that your water has broken, especially if it's like a constant flow. So definitely try and pay attention as you are in the later weeks of your pregnancy for those types of changes, as well as your mucus plug. Whenever I was pregnant with my first, I was literally like at the tail end of my pregnancy. I think I was like 39 weeks and 1 day or 39 weeks and 6 days. I can't remember, but either way, my mucus plug, it ruptured. It happened. So unlike the discharge, it was more like a gooey substance. It was very, very dense. It was very heavy. It kind of like reminds you of water breaking or like kind of peeing on yourself, but it was very, very thick. So I definitely knew, okay, something is happening. I need to go to the hospital. But in the event that it does, you definitely want to know what to look out for. So share with me if you've also had the experience where your mucus plug has come undone, or if your water broke. How did you react? How did your, where were you? Definitely comment below, because I love hearing those types of stories. We are definitely planning on circumcising Babe. That is something that definitely in our heads is gonna be happening. We're planning for it. Not to say we're looking forward to it, because not to say I'm anxious, but it's making me a little nervous, y'all, especially as it gets closer. That was one of the questions that I asked the OB at my appointment, like, okay, so what are the plans for that? When do you plan on doing it, as it relates to, how many days after the C-section? And she basically told me that they do it the day after. I do like that they do it a day after, because that means I'll still be in the hospital, and I know they're gonna give him like pain medication. So I'm kind of glad that we'll be there in the event that anything happens. They can, do what they need to do to make sure that his needs are met. And if there are any things that you think your girl might need to know prior to, definitely drop it in the comments box below, because this is all new to me. This is definitely like something that I will be, going through the motions, but also learning at the same time. I'm pretty confident in my OB. She said she'll be doing it herself, so that also made me feel a ton, like a whole bunch better. So the last thing that I noticed that has been changing as it relates to my body is the amount of moles, like beauty marks, and they've not been anywhere but literally on like my stomach area. So I'm noticing like tons of those beauty marks. Anyone else out there experiencing like freckles or moles, beauty marks anywhere on their body, or an increased amount? And also my linea nigra has appeared to darken underneath my belly button. That I had literally all the way up my stomach with low, but with this baby, I've noticed that it's literally under my belly button and down, and my stretch marks have started to kind of like peak up a little bit more as my belly has gotten so much more big. So that I anticipated happening anyways. I'm not so much concerned about it. I'm just gonna keep hydrating the skin, moisturizing. I'm not really itching, and I have gotten so much larger, y'all, that I'm not worried about, because, you know, obviously once I've had the baby, had, you know, time to heal from the cesarean section, I'm gonna get back to it. But for now, I'm just enjoying the process. I'm enjoying this pregnancy, and that's something that, you know, will come off. So I'm not so much worried about the weight. Anywho's out there, I hope you're well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up for me, and I will see y'all in the next update. Bye.
And walk right up to the